those sinuses.
My sinuses are here to stay.
Let me stop before I'm next, because,
They
man,
didn't
I'm
come
not
to
ready.
play. I wasn't ready either. I take my good days and bad days, and people were like, well, somebody was like, why don't you just why don't you just do like, what do you call it, like preemptive? Is that what you call it? Like prepare for it, like use your
Oh
nasal
yeah,
spray before. Or
that's what I try to do.
I'm not about to do that. That feels extra to me. You know me. I'm not trying to take
But look
extra
at you now.
medication. I
Look
mean, I'm
at you
here.
now.
I'm here. I'm gonna be in
Look
this
at you
thing.
now. I did listen to I listened to the Halloween episode, and
Dead.
your Dr. Loomis impression was spot on. I was like,
Wait, why have I listened
oh,
to that like 5 times though? And I was listening to it yesterday, just cracking up. I was like, D gotta at least listen
man,
to this one because this one is hilarious.
man.
That's hilarious.
I
Well,
was
thanks.
cracking up. I was like, man, I'm gonna listen to it again because
The whole
that.
damn episode is just great. This is a good episode. I hate to toot my horn, our own
Yeah,
horns, but I was like, this episode is great.
yeah.
Greetings, strangers. What was I about to say? I could have just
Your
said my
name.
name. Well, I didn't. I was about to say, but we already addressed my sinuses. I'm Britt.
And I'm D.
Not Dee Dee, but D.
Yes.
And welcome to another bonus episode. And it'll really be a bonus this month. I swear. I promise. Episode of
It's a strange world after all.
The place, the podcast where we discuss true crime cases, the supernatural, urban legends, conspiracy theories, and all of the things that keep the world strange. However, in today's bonus episode, we are doing movies that keep the world strange, movie reviews of the horror, thriller, slasher, and true crime genre.
A young woman discovers a rental home she booked is already occupied by a male stranger. And even though she knows better, she makes the decision to spend the night. But soon discovers there's a lot more to fear than just an unexpected house guest. In today's bonus episode, we review Zach Cregger's Barbarian, released September 9th, 2022.
Yes. I'm sorry. Pam, 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 pam,
What
pam,
was
pam, pam. I don't know what that was.
You see how I was
turned
looking?
into a SpongeBob.
You did.
Her face was so confused. I was like, whoa. Was what I meant to do. Sorry.
Oh
It's
my
my allergies.
God.
It's my allergies. And you saw
Okay.
this in theaters, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. I watched it on
And-
HBO Max.
Oh, okay.
How was your theater experience?
It was better than when we went to go see Smile because I wanted to kick that little kid. But, well, because you know how some movies, I feel like this would be one of those movies that's better in the theater.
Probably. I could get that.
So, yeah.
For some of like the scares, some of the scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the experience was decent.
Good. I made the mistake when I first watched it. I watched it in increments. I started it and then obviously I fell asleep in true Brit fashion. I fell
Yep.
asleep. It was a long day. My hopes were high though. I had high hopes. I ate, sat down, watched it. I was into it.
Oh, you had high hopes for you.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay.
Not for the movie. I mean, I had high hopes. No, I didn't know what to expect. No, I had high hopes for the movie, I feel, too. But no, for myself to stay up. I took a long blink. Next thing I knew, it was tomorrow. And I was like, oh. So it took a whole day, and I had watched it again, and I was like, "Wait." Like, at first, I was like, "Wait, is this the same movie?" But we'll get into it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially watching it in the 2 increments that I did, I was like, "Well, did we put on the right movie again? Hold on."
Oh,
So,
I see how you could have.
but
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
And then I watched it again in preparation yesterday while I was doing my hair, so I'm ready.
Okay.
Well, I'll start with the film. I guess the earnings, the film, they had a $4.5 million budget, and the film ultimately grossed 44 million at the office. It's technically an estimated 45 million because I believe that some theaters are still showing it. Like, even though it's
Yeah,
on the
they are.
HBO
Yeah.
Max, I believe. Okay, so it's still getting a little income. I before we get into the synopsis, I mean, I guess maybe because I don't know. Like, at this point, if you ask me a rating, I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna really have to think about it because I'm very indifferent about the movie as a whole.
So we've only done two so far, but I was thinking about that earlier because I was like, what is my rating going to be? Because
Yeah,
well, yeah, we'll get to it. I think I have one in mind, but yeah.
I accidentally peeked because I was looking up something else, and I was looking up some stuff, and I accidentally saw some of the ratings. We can go over them at
Oh,
the end, but I was like, I feel like they was being a bit generous. I feel like they were being a
oh, I didn't
little.
see any. Are you talking about like
Oh, okay,
Rotten
well, we'll get
Tomatoes
into
and
it.
stuff like that?
Yeah, and
Oh, yeah, I haven't
IMDb and
seen.
Google. I was like, I
Mm.
feel like we giving away participation awards, but maybe I'm just being too harsh. I don't know.
Now I
I
don't know.
don't know.
Now I want to look and see what, because I didn't look at the.
No, don't cheat. Don't
Okay.
cheat.
Okay.
Save it. That way you can be shocked.
I mean, I have an
What?
idea because of like because I've looked at a lot of like TikToks about the movies because I follow a few people who do like horror movie reviews and stuff. So
Oh
I've
yeah.
seen nothing but good things. So nothing negative. So,
Well, I guess today just call me negative Nancy. No,
oh
I'm just kidding. I don't
Lord.
think I'm gonna be that. I don't think I'm gonna be that negative. Let's get into it. I don't think I'm gonna be
Okay.
that. So spoiler alert.
Oh yeah, there are gonna be spoilers in
All
every
throughout. We're giving
episode.
the
Yeah.
whole. Yeah, because we giving the whole damn shebang. We
Yep.
giving you all the deets. Okay, guys. Guys, the film starts. We're here. We're in our seats. We're eating our popcorn, our snacks, drinking our Coca Cola. As for me, I'm drinking my lemonade, sitting down. You see Tess Marshall, played by Georgina Campbell. She gets to the Airbnb, and it's dark. It's so dark you can't even really see like the houses around you at this point, which that's gonna come back up, but you can't even see the houses. She booked their Airbnb at 467 Barbary Street. She tries to check in. She has the thing. It's the Airbnb where they put like the little padlock with the numbers. You type the number in,
Hmm.
you get the key. There's no key in there. She cannot get in the house. She can't find the key. She can't reach the person who booked the Airbnb. Fun fact, the apparently the year 476 was when the barbarians invaded Rome.
Oh.
So 476, that's the address. But the director Krieger insists that this was unintentional and purely coincidental. But I I don't know.
Could
I don't
be.
know that I believe that. It could
I
be,
mean,
but did he do it or did the writer do it? Because if the writer did it, maybe the writer.
oh, yeah, maybe.
Maybe, but that's one fun fact. In my notes, I was like, this is like one of my biggest fears, like, is that I'll book a Airbnb or like a VRBO and like get there, like fly all the way to where I'm going, get there, and then the person is like nowhere to be found. And it's like, damn, I got conned. That's like one of my
Oh,
fears that I have.
yeah.
Cause you have to pay up front,
Yeah.
like when you book. I don't know, it just made me think of that. But okay, so she before she's about to leave, she sees that someone's home. A light turns on in the house, so she's like, "Wait a minute, hold up." So she rings the doorbell, and a man named Keith Toshko, it's Toshko, Keith Toshko, played by Bill Skarsgård. I knew how to say that because his brother which I did not know that they were related. That he was related to what's his name? Alex, or what's his name?
It's
Skarsgård.
how many of them is it?
It's like 3 of them, 4 of them.
Yeah, it's like 3 or 4.
I'm talking about the more the style. I'm talking about the one that was in like
Oh,
True Blood.
what is his name? Hold on,
I
cause
just
now
I know, look, I was trying to look it up too. Oh yeah, Alexander
yeah,
Skarsgård. He played Eric. I didn't know that they were.
yeah.
But he's the one who answers the door, and he's basically like what are you doing? They booked. He says he booked the house too, and Keith is like, look, it's dark. I don't know if you've seen this in the daylight, but I don't trust this neighborhood. Like maybe you should just come in and we'll figure it out. So he convinces her to come in so they can figure it out. Would you have come in? That was my other note. I was like, would I have come in? I don't know.
No,
You wouldn't have?
no.
What would you have done instead?
So she so she did try to book another, like, a hotel, an actual hotel, but she couldn't find anything. So
That was one she
I
was already in.
was it?
Like this is before we
Oh
get to
yeah,
that.
yeah,
So
yeah,
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 this
yeah.
is she just came in because he was like, let's figure it out, come in. Would
That's
you have
that's
come
right.
in at this point?
No, I would have went
You
back
would
to
have
my car, looked for a hotel, and if I couldn't find one, like she couldn't, I would have driven to the hotel anyway and just slept in the car. Yeah.
boom, we failed. I thought that too. I was like, I just would have driven to like a hotel in a nicer neighborhood and slept in the
Yeah.
parking lot. And then, because I feel like that would have even made my review or like my complaint, I would have been like, I had to sleep in my car and all this other stuff.
Yeah. That's what I would have did.
But a younger me, though, 20-ish me probably would have been, especially if he was cute, I probably would have been like, let me see what you got going on inside. inside of That's just me.
I know. I believe you. Giving people fake Uber rides. I believe you.
Oh man, I got paid for that too. I got like a good $30. I was like, damn, and they paid for my It wasn't dinner because it was like after the club. So you talking about like he paid for my breakfast slash midnight snack, and I wasn't by myself. I wasn't by
Yeah,
myself, so I didn't
but
feel. I
still.
feel like we could have took them. We could have took them. I can take any man calling you a knucklehead. Any man that calls somebody a knucklehead will get beat up. That's all I'm gonna say.
If you say so. Okay. So yeah, she went in and like I said, she's looking for a hotel. So she couldn't find anything. So he's like, hey, you can, sleep in the bedroom. So she takes it, unfortunately. Then so
Fortunately,
he
unfortunately.
right. Then he's like, hey, got this bottle of wine. You and she's like, no, I probably shouldn't drink. I have an interview tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. And then she tells him like she's meeting with this filmmaker, Bonnie Zane, played by Sophie Sorensen.
I think.
So yeah, Sorensen. And that's when he tells her that he's actually seen her last film, but Tessa's like,
Nobody's heard of
nobody,
her.
yeah.
What?
And then, yeah. And so they talk a little bit more, they bond a little bit, and then they decide that they're going to go to bed. And she goes in the room.
Yeah. My thing, I just feel like with this was when I was in it. I was in the film. I was like the anticipation. I was just like, okay, what is it? Because I mean the previews they don't show you like what the threat is or anything like that. It's just like
Yeah.
you see little snippets. So I'm like, okay, clearly he is the threat. Look at him. Look at his face. Like, look at him. Pennywise
What?
face. Like, he's Pennywise, the clown, first of all. He just has
Yes.
a face.
And I kept thinking that the whole time. I was like, man, that's all I was seeing was Pennywise.
That's just Pennywise. Exactly. So that's number one. And then, like, okay, how convenient was it? Well, for one, he was being pushy. Like, remember at first he was like, "You want some tea?" Like, and she was like,
Oh
"No." He was like,
yeah.
"Well, I'm gonna make a." He was like, "Well, I'm gonna make myself and you a cup." I already told you I didn't want any tea. Like, chill out. Then he was like, "Look, I left the cork in. Like, I didn't even pop the cork in the wine bottle, so you know that I'm not crazy. Like, so you know that I didn't put anything in it." He was just being really pushy, like, about it. But
But what?
no, go ahead. What you about to say?
I was like, he just seemed awkward. Maybe he was
I like
just awkward.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say, in retrospect, without giving anything away, I guess if you guys are leaning heavy on this synopsis, and in retrospect, it could have been that he was just trying to make her feel comfortable. That he was like,
Yeah.
I realize, because they had that conversation too about like the gender differences, like, and yes, we are identifying gender. He really was just saying like a woman being there at night versus like a man, like how that would have
Yeah.
gone. So maybe he was just like, look, I'm just trying to make you feel comfortable. So
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah, because I mean, he was being a little weird, but I mean, I feel like that situation is weird anyway. So,
it is awkward.
because I wouldn't have been sitting, I would have went straight in the room if I were to stay. I wouldn't be sitting up there talking to him.
Yeah, lock the door. Probably put a
Yeah,
chair under the door. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, she did like take pictures of his ID and stuff, but
Yeah.
so I mean, she was, you know, I guess I just wouldn't have done it.
She makes some questionable decisions throughout though, so
She does.
in my
Yes.
opinion.
Yeah. So she's was she already? Yeah, she was sleeping and then she starts hearing noises. So she hears the door creaking and then she hears a loud screeching sound and then she looks and the door is like wide open. And she knew she closed it cuz I mean, she better have closed it.
They had even talked about that because he was like, "Oh yeah, there's a lock on the door. You'll feel safe."
Yeah. And then she hears Keith. He's making noises in his sleep. Because at first I was like, what are you out there doing? Because it sounded a
Because he was
little
like,
weird.
"Hold on, Keith. Like I know I'm cute, but hold on, Keith."
So she goes to check on him. And when she went to wake him up, like he just jumped up. I was like, sir, what is wrong with you? What's wrong?
She scared him. She
He scared
interrupted his
her.
sleep.
He scared her
He didn't know that though, because he was asleep.
still.
I just said perspectives.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So they just up. Like I would have left after. I wouldn't even be there, but me seeing the door open, seeing that it wasn't him, because obviously he was on the couch sleep, I would have left.
Knocked out. I don't
He
know.
was.
I think probably, and then too, okay, they were drinking wine. So I think maybe I would have been like, maybe I thought I closed it all the way, but didn't close it all the way. I'll give her that. That might be where my mind.
Okay. We'll give her that one.
But
Side
I
note.
will
Oh,
say, oh, go
go
ahead.
ahead. No, you go, because
Oh,
mine
I
don't
was
have
just
nothing to do
really
with
quick. I was just gonna say, put your phone on silent. Let me make sure mine on silent. It ain't even on silent.
See,
I
why
was
you
just
talk
gonna
about me?
say that part was like the point in the film where I was like, okay, well, maybe he's not crazy. Cause his reaction seemed really genuine. Like he was like, what are they
Yeah.
doing? Like
Yeah.
so I was like, maybe he's not the threat. What's going on? So go ahead,
Yeah,
sidebar.
no, I was just gonna say it was bothering me the whole time because she looks like doesn't she look like what's I don't even remember their names, but the twins from Bad Girls Club,
That
the Victor
the
twins. She looks like one of them. And I was
she
like,
kind of does look like
because that's what I thought it was. I was like, I know that's not one of those twins. And I was like, nah, they wouldn't
they
get him a
don't
movie.
they didn't come up. I mean, Blue is in rap shit.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, but you remember Blue.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, look at her. She does a good job too. But no, yeah,
Oh.
no. She does look like them though. Okay, so it is the next day. You survive the night. I thought more of it's gonna happen. I thought it was gonna be all in one night, but they give you another day, and I'm like, okay, all right, let's see what happens. Tess Tess goes to her interview, and as she's gets when she goes outside, she finally gets a look at the neighborhood, and it is like completely abandoned. The neighborhood. That's like the only house that's like standing. And someone's
Yeah.
staying in it. I said someone like it's not them, so cut that out. I don't. Somebody's staying there. Somebody actually staying there. Yeah. So she goes to her interview, and after the interview, like everything looks good. After the interview, she tells what's her name, Bonnie.
Bonnie.
Yeah. She's like, well, where are you staying? And she tells her where she's staying, and she's like, no, you're not. Like, stop. No, you're
He's
not.
staying
And
over
she's like,
there.
no, for real. Couldn't be me. That's what she would have. Couldn't be me. It's like that neighborhood is dangerous. I don't think you should be staying there. But she's like, Tess is like, I have a roommate, so it's fine. Even though you have somebody that you don't know as your roommate. That's why I was like, come on, Tess. Come
Yeah.
on, Tess. So when Tess gets back to the house, when Tess gets back to the house, a man named Andre, played by James Butler, is running. He had to run for a long time too, because he was all the way down the street. Because at first I was like, where is this voice coming from? So he runs after her and tells her like, get out of the house. But he was like really aggressive about it. He
He
was like, hey,
was.
you. He was like, hey, little girl, get away from that house. I was like, oh my god. Oh my gosh, why is he so aggressive?
That was funny because he was far away because she was just standing
He
there. I'm like, do you not hear this? Like, I guess she couldn't tell where it was coming from. But then as soon as I saw him, I would have been like, no, I would have gotten a car and left.
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah.
She goes back in the house, but in my mind, I was sitting there thinking like, okay, I feel like this is one of those situations where he's probably not crazy. He's probably about to play. The best thing I could think of was the magical Negro type character, which it
Yeah.
wasn't like a full on magical Negro, but it was like at least like a Molly you in danger girl situation.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's what I thought. Like he's there
Same.
to help.
But that's normally helping white people, though, even though the guy is white and then the other character is white, but she's something. She ain't white. She's
That's true.
yeah.
But she wasn't like, never mind, we don't get into it because people ain't gonna understand. You know what I mean?
I
She
know
was
what you
definitely
mean.
ambiguous. She was
Yeah.
definitely ambiguous
That's what I
for
was trying
sure.
to say without saying it, but yeah.
But yeah, I get what you're saying. It really that term comes from
Yeah.
like a saving the white man type of
Yeah.
or being there. Your sole purpose is to serve
Yeah.
the main white character. Yes. Hold on, I lost my place. Okay, so once she gets in, she calls the cops
Oh,
and is
yeah.
like, "Hey, like, are you gonna send somebody?" And the lady on the phone, ma'am, she was like, "Well, I don't have no units. Like, basically, we don't have the manpower for that. Like, which lets you know that before it even went to shit, it was probably underserved in general. Like, they probably were
Yeah.
like, no, we don't even mess with that area anyway, type stuff.
Yep.
So she wait, why did she even go to the basement? How did she even end up going to the
Oh,
basement?
she was I think she went to get toilet paper because she was
Okay.
right, yeah, because she was finna pee and she didn't have no toilet paper.
I couldn't even remember that part. I just
Yeah.
remember her going to the basement. The door locks behind her, so she's locked in there. And she left her phone on the kitchen table so she can't call anybody. So she like is looking around and she sees this big rope. It's not small, it's a big rope. And she sees it attached to a wall. And for some reason, she thought, let me pull on this rope. Let me pull on the rope and see what happens. So she pulls the rope attached to the wall and it opens up a secret entrance to a tunnel. And we like, oh shoot, we cooking now. Something's about to
Here we
happen.
go.
Yeah. So she goes into the tunnel for whatever reason. She's walking for a while. She comes across a room with a bed with a soiled mattress. The mattress is soiled, completely soiled. There is a camera and a TV right in there too. Or was that the other room with the
That
TV
was
in
the
it?
other room with the
Okay,
TV.
okay. So this
Yeah.
one is just the camera, the bed, and then there's a bloody handprint on the wall. Then there is a staircase that goes down further. And she finally gets some like she finally is like, oh, like never mind, I'm about to go this far. Like I'm gonna turn around. She runs back to the main basement. And she sees Keith outside the little window, and she gets him to basically get her out.
Yeah, they pushed the window open.
And then she explains to him like what she saw, like, hey, there's a bed, a very soiled mattress downstairs with a camera. There's some freak shit going on here. So we need to leave. And Keith is like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, bro, you need to calm down. Like, maybe you're just overreacting. And she's like, no, I know what I thought. I'm not overreacting. We need to go. Keith decides that he wants to go check it out. He decides that he wants to go check it out. And instead of Tess being like, well, you can go check it out and I'm going to head out, I'm going to go ahead and leave.
That's what I would have did.
Yeah, exactly. She lets him convince her because he's like, well, what if the door locks behind me? I don't want the lock. And so like, I just want you to stay just in case for that. And she was like, okay. In that moment, I was like, maybe it is Keith. This is just a roller coaster for me. Because I was like, maybe he's trying to.
And this is only the beginning.
This is only the beginning, but did you think that too? I was just like, well, maybe
Yeah.
he did know that stuff is out there. Maybe he's trying to catch her. Like maybe he gonna
Yep.
pretend to be hurt and then get her. That's what
That's
I
what
was
I
thinking, like
thought.
a
Yeah.
Ted Bundy.
Yep.
Yeah. So she's standing there and she's like, Keith, Keith, don't say nothing. She like, Keith, and then she's like, oh shoot. So she has to go back downstairs.
She didn't have to.
You're right, she didn't. She felt obligated to go downstairs.
You do not know this man.
No, that's what I kept saying that too. I was like, you don't owe him nothing. You don't know him. Even Lord Jesus, forgive me. Even my man's. I'd have left. I'd have been like, look, let me call the cops because you didn't want to listen to me in the first place. There's nothing that I could do. Look, guys got it now. It's out of my
Yep.
hands. There's
It's
nothing that I
above
can
me
do.
now.
It's above me now. But she felt like she was going to go save him. She gets to the staircase and she's like, oh, she finally decides to go down the staircase. And I was like, oh, Lord, she hears him screaming. She's like, bro, we need to leave. And he's like, you need to calm down. There's something down here. Something bit me. And he's saying, let's go one way. She's saying, no, we need to go back the way we came. And before you know it, something and it's horror this way. It is horrifying naked humanoid monstrosity, aka the mother, who is played by somebody, Matthew Patrick Davis, appears out of nowhere and smashes Keith's head until she is dead. I was like, what the hell? I'm sorry. Yeah, Keith. What I say, Heath?
No, you called Keith she.
Oh, smashes Keith's head until he's dead. The last scene is like in that is just like her screaming. And I was like, oh my God, what just happened? Or like screeching, which explains what that screeching noise was the night before.
Yeah. And I was like, I don't know what I was expecting. Well, I knew what I was expecting. I was expecting him to be like some like sick pervert
like
dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
That me and Dawn was like, what is this?
It was the last thing. It was the last thing. I was like, did we wait, look, did we take a wrong turn? Did we take a wrong turn? Cause how?
I mean, we did.
Did we get here?
We did take a wrong turn.
Literally, they took a wrong turn. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Like, oh, I was like, oh, that's a choice. That's a choice.
Yeah,
because
it's like, what is this? This is not what you were thinking. I was like, and then I'm like, was it a vampire? Because he was like, something bit me, and I was like,
yeah, same. What was it?
So yeah, So even then, when he said that, and then when they showed the mother, I'm like, okay, so now we taking a supernatural turn, but it didn't.
Nope. It's a person. It's a person ish.
Yeah. So after all that madness, we fast forward to can't even talk because
You could do it.
I'm still
What is it? What happened?
we go to screenwriter AJ Gilbride, played by the Scream King himself, Justin Long.
Woo!
And
Yeah.
he is driving down the street jamming, singing his heart out. And
He
then
was singing his heart out. He was
he
like
gets up.
this.
He was.
I tell everybody, I ain't never heard the song before. I was like, all right,
Me
you better get
neither.
it. You better get it.
So as he's singing, he gets a phone call from his colleagues, and they tell him that he's being dropped from his latest project because a woman, I'm guessing the co-star on the show that he was
Yeah.
working on, accused him of rape. Trigger warning.
Yes.
And, he's denying it. So, yeah, there is some back and forth about whether or not he really did it because, again, I was thinking like, maybe he didn't do it. And then I was like, oh, what if he did? Maybe he
Yeah.
did do it. But then he went out and
Yes. Later.
yeah, when he got into town, he went out with one of his friends. And his friend, and then that part too, I was kind of like, his friend might be trying to set him up. I was like, he probably recording the conversation because the way he was like,
Ah.
so what you do? What happened? Did you do it?
He just
And
wanted to know. He was like
yeah,
man to man.
and he basically admitted it. So there you go.
That he
He admitted it.
pressured her.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true. It was like a lot of back and forth, and it's because too I love him.
I
Like
do
I like
too.
Justin Long. Yeah,
Yeah,
I was like I like Justin Long, so I was like maybe I'm being a little biased. And I was like, and then they kind of made a good job. This was before he seemed really douchey, like as douchey as
yeah,
he seems by the
yeah,
end of the movie. So it's like, maybe he didn't, but then by then it's like, oh, and then I was like,
yeah.
oh my god, I hate his character. It
I
was
know.
it was, like, excruciating. It was like seeing Stanley Tucci in The Lovely Bones. Like, I love Stanley Tucci too as an actor, and when he was in
Yeah,
Lovely Bones, I was like, "Oh, I
and that's
can't do
how
this."
and that's how we felt when we saw Misha Collins in Carla when he played that rapist.
Yes, oh my gosh, it's
Oh my
so
god. Yeah,
ugh.
that's how it was. But then that just goes to show how good, like, how they're really good actors for you to
Yeah.
feel like that. Cause I was like,
Yeah, that's true.
Justin Long,
Imma
man.
send you hate mail. I'm just kidding. Would never That is a character, it's fine. He just did a good job.
Yeah, he did. So AJ goes, after he met with his financial advisor, he went to go visit one of his rental properties that he's planning on selling to, get a little bit of money back that he's going to lose. And it just so happens to be the Barbary house. So when he gets there, he sees Tessa's luggage, and then he goes to the basement to investigate. So when he went and he saw the room with the bed and the camera, the first thing he did, he Googled whether or not he can include that like in his square footage to get more money. And I was like, sir,
Yeah. He's trying to sell it. He was trying to
there's
sell.
like clearly something shady going on. They making snuff films or something down here and you trying to get extra money. And then he's like measuring.
He didn't care.
He did not care. I was like, sir. And then as he's down there like getting his little measurements, he is found and chased by the mother. And then he ends up falling into a pit. And guess who's in the pit? It's Tess. So she survived the first attack. So yeah, good for her.
Good for her. My thing is, first off, that rental agency that he was working with, or the people that was like helping him do the Airbnb, they were
They
trash.
were.
He was like, y'all, somebody is staying here. There are car keys, there's like luggage here, there's a car parked in front. Like, what? He was like, wait, because they were like, well, we don't send anybody out to clean until somebody else rinses it. He was like, what if they trash the place? She was like, is the place trashed? He was like, no, the place isn't trash, but you're missing the point. What kind of system is that?
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God. How oblivious are you to see all the stuff in your house, still in your house? Then to see, the mattress, he acknowledged it and was like, ew. And yet you're going through with this damn
Measuring tape.
measuring tape. I was supposed to say something else. Measuring tape. You looking at cages. He measured past the cages
He
and everything. Like,
did.
oh, what
He
is
did.
this? What the world?
He did not care.
This character is an idiot. Like, what?
Oh, man.
Okay. So we switch again. We fast, not forward. We go backwards. It is
Flashback.
apparent that we're going flashbacks. We're going backwards to sometime in the 1980s. It's Barbary Street, and it's full of life. It's full of residents. It looks nice. Looks like something out of Stepford Wives. It looks nice. You see a man named Frank, played by Richard Brake, and he is living in that same 467 Barbary street house. You see him, he go to the store. He looks a little sus. He looks a little creepy mustache guy, sus. He, even when he was getting at the store, it was like baby products and then a plastic sheet.
Yeah.
And the lady was like, oh, a plastic sheet. And I was like, would they have that in baby products? Because is that something that you would use for a baby? No, right?
No, but I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah, it was just kind of like, oh, okay, a plastic sheet. The baby products, yeah, but the plastic sheet, I've been like, what you painting? Are you painting? And if
Yeah.
you tell me you're not painting, I'm gonna be like, what you doing? But goes to the grocery store and you see him in the next scene. He's looking at a young woman. He's watching her fill up her car. He follows her back to the house, and then he pulls out a little costume. He dresses up as like an electric company guy, and he goes to the house and he's like, hey, we just got a call. I need to check. And he's like, what would you do? You gonna call the company and be like, hey, did y'all send somebody out? Yeah, that's true. That's true. But no, this is the 80s. So she was like, oh no, yeah, you can come check. She lets him in. He goes inside the house. Casual. Everything's casual. He goes inside the house. He unlocks the bathroom window. So we get the sense that he's going to return to her house through the bathroom window. When he gets home, he's talking to his neighbor, and the neighbor's like, he's talking to his neighbor, Doug, played by Kurt. I ain't gonna say his name because he ain't important. I'm gonna cut that out. I'm gonna cut that part out. But I mean, he wasn't a big character, and I don't feel like saying Braunholer. Should I acknowledge him? Kurt Braunholer.
I mean, that's up to you.
Oh.
Even though I do have something to say about him, though.
Oh, okay. Well, when he returns to his house, his neighbor, Doug, standing out front, played by Kurt Braunholer, and he tells Frank that him and his wife are moving. He's like, because the neighborhood's gone to shit. But I was like, wait, is this supposed to represent like white flight? Because it's Detroit, right? It was where they were. And I was like, it didn't look like anything was wrong with that neighborhood, like at all. So I'm assuming maybe somebody black had just moved into the neighborhood.
Yeah, I thought that too. But I mean, it could have just been like, I don't know.
Why would he feel like that?
I don't know. I mean, I was like, it must have been a black family that moved in there, but in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
But. And then also, Doug, you talking to him, his name is Frank. He has on a whole, what you call it? The electric company outfit with a whole different name on it. I would have been like, what you doing?
I didn't even think of that.
What are you doing?
Honestly didn't even think of that.
I was like, his name is Frank. It said something like Carlos or I don't know what it said. It wasn't his name.
No, not at all.
Doug,
that's funny.
What are you doing? That would have been my first question.
That's hilarious. He's a lot like Justin Long's character, though. He's pretty, like AJ, he's pretty self-absorbed. So he probably wasn't even, or he seems pretty self-absorbed.
Yeah.
Another thing I thought of, though, now that I'm thinking about it, outside of race, because everything's not about race. We get that, people. So it could be too that maybe women had started to disappear around there,
Oh,
because I
yeah,
feel like
yeah,
he
yeah.
did that to multiple women, right? And maybe
Yeah.
they were like, some weird stuff happening here.
That was one of my notes. I was like, I wish they would have went into that story more because that's the whole backstory. That's the
Same,
whole
D.
point of the whole movie. So I feel like they should have spent more time on that. That was
I
one of
thought
my
that too.
issues. Yeah.
Cause I got while they spent a little time on AJ's story. I think they were setting up the fact that he's an asshole, like the fact that he's a douchebag.
Yeah.
So they were trying to make him unlikable. I get that, but yeah, I was like, oh, I wish I had a little bit more backstory. Maybe they'll do a prequel. Maybe,
Maybe. They should.
maybe, yeah.
Yeah. So now we're back in the present and um I keep wanting to call him Justin. AJ.
You can say Justin Long's character if you want
Oh
to.
yeah, I
Something if it
could.
feels comfortable for you too.
Yeah. They're in the cage at this point, and of course he's trying to figure out what's going on, and Tess is telling him, to calm down. And then here comes the mother, and she
The
like
mother.
she lowers down a baby bottle in the pit, and
Man. Man. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Tess, she drinks it, but AJ is like, no, I'm not doing this.
What AJ is like, what is this? Like,
What's
what is going
happening?
on?
He
What
was
is
like,
happening?
I'm not.
Wait, so there was a fun fact about this that I was like, it was kind of like, meh. So I didn't put it in here, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Like, okay, as you were watching it, did you notice the hair on the nipple of the
On the
like
bottle?
her hair, the mother's hair on
Oh,
the on
no.
the nipple part of the bottle?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. So for if you watched this and you noticed it, so it happened unintentionally. Like the mother was just supposed to put the bottle down there for them to suck for Justin's Long's character to suck, but there was hair stuck to it, and the director was like, "Oh, that looks kind of gross. So let's add a little more." They added more to it, but I paid attention to it. I was like, "I'm not about to first of all, I'm not about to put that nipple, that bottle nipple in my mouth, and then it
Wait,
got hair on it."
I was I was on Twitter and Tony Baker, he was like, of course we know where she getting it from, but he was like, how old is this milk?
That's true too. How long this milk been sitting up in here?
Yes. I was like,
The
oh my
breast milk
God.
go bad?
I mean, yeah,
Aha. That's a thought. Oh, okay. I was like, I don't know. Does it have an expiration date if you keep it in
it
the
should.
fridge? I don't know. I don't drink breast milk, so I don't know. I'm an adult. Never touched the stuff. I've never had it.
It makes me think of Homelander because he was drinking that breast milk out the bottle for whatever.
Child.
He's weird. So yeah, the boys. Yeah.
Oh.
So the mother, she ends up going into the pit and she's like cradling Tess, I guess. But AJ, he don't want no parts of it. So
Baby.
and so the mother gets mad and she snatched him up and she took him away, and Tess was able to escape. So AJ, she puts him in another room, and this scene, she was she was about to breastfeed him. What she did.
They were playing that video in the background. I was like, wait, what's about to happen? It was like the
Yes.
mother's breast milk. And the baby was breastfeeding. I was like, just kill me. Just kill
I
me.
know. Fun fact about this scene, it wasn't supposed to be breastfeeding. She was supposed to do, what is it called? Where you chew up the food and you give it to the
I don't know
baby.
what it's called. I call it baby bird. I
I
don't know what
think
that's
it's
called
something like
though.
that. Yeah, but that's what that scene
Uh,
was supposed to be instead of
thank
the
God it
breastfeeding.
wasn't that. Even though the titty feed, the breastfeeding was
They
still like,
filmed it, but they ended up
uh.
going with the breastfeeding scene instead. So you look.
I was like, oh my gosh, I know she not finna put her titty in his mouth. I was like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Oh
Look at
man.
it. She was like, "Baby,
She was.
baby."
Oh my
No.
god. So you would rather the breastfeeding scene than the other scene?
Yeah, yeah, I don't know if I could watch somebody chew food and
Yeah, because I forgot what they used, but they did film it the other way. I wanna say they used oh, it was ew. They used prosciutto,
oh, okay,
and
okay.
they were it was supposed to
Interesting.
be like yeah, it's called Baby Bird. She was supposed to
Oh,
Baby Bird
boom.
him. Yeah, and
That's right.
they said they filmed it, so the scene was supposed to be she chews up a rat and Baby Bird's him.
Ew.
And they
Nah.
filmed
No,
it,
no,
they used
no.
prosciutto. And yeah, the quote was, "It was pretty gross."
Yeah.
It said, "Matthew, who plays the mother, really masticated this prosciutto and dropped it direct bullseye into his mouth."
Wait, so he
So
chewed
they
it in real
actually
life
did
and did it?
yes.
Oh, hell nah. No, I
Yes.
hope he got paid enough. I hope he was paid
And
enough
they didn't
because
even use the scene. I would ugh.
exactly. How much would you put in your contract? I'd be like, you got to give me an extra 50,000. I don't know if I could do that. If
I
I'm
don't
the one
even
that has to take it.
mm, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it
Jesus.
at all. Yeah. Moving on. So Tess, she breaks through the window and she's pulled out by Andre cuz like she was struggling to get out cuz
Yeah, she was.
yeah, the mother like was after her. And so Andre, he pulls her out and he's trying to take her to safety, but she's like, "No, I got to go back and save AJ." Again,
Another dude
ma'am.
who she don't know at all. She knows him less than she knew Keith.
Yeah,
She don't even know
ma'am.
his name.
And AJ is
Oh wait, or
trash.
did they exchange
I
names?
don't
Never mind.
know.
He is trash though, but she don't know that.
Still,
She gonna find
she
out.
told him like, just do what she tell you to do, and it's gonna be okay. And
He was not
I'm.
with it though.
He wasn't.
He was not listening. He was shocked though. He was just like, "Is
Yeah,
this
that's true.
serious?" Like,
That's true.
I would have played it up though. I'd have been like, "Mama, mama." Throwing tantrums and stuff, throwing the bottle and throwing
Oh my
tantrums.
god.
This is about to sound gross. I don't want to say this. Never mind. I ain't gonna say it.
No,
Was she
please
changing them
don't.
too? I would have doo-dooed on myself. Gonna make this the worst experience. She gonna be like, I'm gonna drop her off at the hospital. I can't take care of this. So this baby, take her back.
Oh man. Ugh.
Before she decides to go back in the house, she at least has the wherewithal to try and call the cops. Tess calls these asshole cops.
They were.
And when they arrive, they were oh my gosh, when they arrive, they think that she's like a crackhead. Like they think she's like yeah, strung out addict.
I mean, she just been through it, so she did kind of look.
Cause she kept saying she was like, "Yo, I've literally been trapped in this house in this basement for weeks. I'm not
Yeah,
crazy. I'm telling you. I just came up out of here. Like,
they wasn't trying to hear it.
no, wait." And they were like, ma'am, you need to calm down. You're being uncooperative, sir. You're being douches,
Yeah,
like basically pretty much. So they get another call about a shooting, and they're just like, we don't want to hear from you again. Basically, they're out. They left her. They just left her there in that neighborhood. First of all, because that was my thing. I was like, even if she is like some addict, then I would assume that that's not her house. So,
oh
and
yeah,
all these other houses are abandoned. Like, I would have at least been like, okay, we're gonna take you down to the station. Like, let's get you off the streets at
yeah,
least. They just left
yeah.
her, and it was getting dark. She waits until it gets dark and goes back into the house, and she grabs her car keys. When she gets in the car, the mother comes out of nowhere. She just emerges, and she is trying to break in through the windshield, but then Tess drives her into the side of the house. She slams her into the side, and the mother is just laid out over the hood of the car.
Yeah.
She's done for, allegedly.
So while this is going on, AJ, he's still, making his way around the basement wherever they at. And he finds Frank looking disgusting
Looking
and
disgusting.
coughing and he's just death. He just looks
He
like
was on his
death.
deathbed for
He
sure.
he
Yeah,
really was literally.
literally.
And so AJ finds these tapes that Frank had of the women that he was raping through all that
Yeah.
time. And AJ is talking to this man. Like, why are you sitting here talking to him? Like, you need to be trying to
He
leave.
thought, well, at first, before he looked at the video, he at
He
first
yeah,
thought he needed
he
help
needed help, but still,
first.
still. Call me. Not it's not heartless. Like I'm trying to escape.
I,
Clearly, this man has been down here for some time. Ain't no helping him.
yeah, he couldn't have
So,
moved. Yeah, because he's
yeah, he
sick.
could.
He's
Yeah,
sick. No, I agree. Like I said, I was like, I even leave my man's. Like, it's granted somebody you don't know. I'd have loved, like, you know what I mean? You got to put your mask on before you can help other people. I got to get help in
yep,
order to help you. That's all I'm saying. We can't both die. Somebody got to be there.
yeah. So he's talking to Frank, and then Frank pulls out a gun and, trigger warning, shoots himself in the head. And so,
Yes.
yeah, AJ grabs the gun and he runs out of the room. And by this time, Tess is, like you said, wait, why did she go back in there? Oh, trying to help him.
To save him. Yeah, she was like, she thought it through. She thought she had a solid plan. She was like, let me take out the mother and then I'll go down and get
Yeah,
him. But even though Andre was also like, and by the way, she's not the worst thing that lives in the house.
true. So Tess is down there looking for him and she finds him and she calls his name and he got scared and shot her. I was like, shot her in the stomach.
I
I was
said,
like,
dang. I was like, just like the cops, he shot first and asked questions
exactly,
later. She
exactly.
literally just said his name, right? Or did she even just say, hey? Or
She
she said
said
AJ?
something. I don't know, but like clearly it's her. I
Yeah,
mean,
she
by
said
her
it faint. She didn't
voice.
scream or anything. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, she was speaking perfect English. She was just like, hey. And he shot her. Oh my God.
And so he helps her out of the house. And then when they get outside, the mother is gone.
Dun, dun, dun.
How? How? So then Tess, she's like, oh, I know where we can go. Going down the street.
Yeah, basically right down the road. She took him to the water tower where Andre is held up. It's where he told her to go for safety. He takes him in. They're sitting there warming up, and he's basically giving you like the backstory. Like, if you haven't been following, this is what happened. There was a man, Frank. He owned the house. He was kidnapping girls, held them hostage. He was having babies with them, and those babies were a product of rape. And that the mother, the lady that's in there now, the one that had them hostage, is a product of incestuous rape that had been going on for over 40 years. He was like, it wasn't, he was being dramatic though. He was like, he was like, you make a copy of a copy of a copy, then you make that copy, and then that copy has a copy of the copy. And
He
then this
was.
copy is the copy that you are left
Oh
with. That
my
was in my notes.
God.
That just
He
stood out. I was
was.
like, okay, okay, this is serious, magical Negro. This is serious. A
Oh
copy of
my
a copy.
God. Whew, okay.
So then, yes, you end up with the mother, basically. So the babies are having babies with the babies. And then they basically feel comfortable. They're like, okay, well, we should be safe now. Andre is like, look, I ain't never seen her this far. She ain't gonna, he's literally in the midst of saying, she ain't finna come in here. And she just is like, she comes and she takes him out. And I was like, he didn't deserve this. I already knew it was
Wait,
gonna happen, but he
I
didn't
knew
deserve
it
it.
because he was like, shit, she ain't coming. And
Yeah,
so
he
when
was.
he said that, I was like, oh, she about to get him. He was like, shit, I've
And
been
then she
down
got
here
him.
14. She ain't never came in here. I was like, man.
She
I knew it.
she didn't even let him finish his sentence. She immediately came, rips his arms off, and beats him to death. She beat him to death with his arms, with his own arm.
Yeah,
I was like, he did not ask for this.
he
He shouldn't
did
have
it,
even.
but
He should have stayed out of it.
it was me and Dawn was cracking up at this part because of
Why?
how he said it. Because he was like,
Oh,
he was like,
shit.
shit. I
He
was
did.
like,
He really did. He was confident. He was like, I wish a motherfucker
he
would.
was basically. And because we
And the
was like, soon
motherfucker
as he
did.
said it though, me and Dawn was like, oh, he about to get got. She about to get him.
Yeah. Yep.
Poor
And he
Andre.
got.
Mm.
That's why you just mind your own business.
Yeah. Yeah, because he was trying to help her the whole time.
And she wasn't with it. So I'd have been like, as soon as I seen them, I would have been like, nah, don't try to come here now.
I know.
Don't try to come here now. I need y'all to move on around.
So Tess and AJ, they run to the top of the water tower, for safety. And then AJ, oh yeah, because she's chasing them. She's
Yeah.
chasing them. And
Yep.
AJ dropped the gun. And I was like, sir.
Stupid.
So he was like, what did he say? Because he was like, I'm sorry,
Oh,
but this is
his
like,
justification.
yeah. And he grabbed Tess and threw her off the water tower.
He was like, I mean, we both don't have to die, basically. He was
Yeah.
like, one of us should survive. He was like, I'm in a better spot than you because she's hurt. It took her a while to even get
Yeah,
up the stairs.
it did. I mean, because he shot her. That's why she
Yeah, no,
hurt.
I know. She's also only been living off of milk and apparently possibly regurgitated food or chewed up food for 4 weeks, couple of weeks. So she weak.
Man, he threw her off the water tower and
He threw the
then
mess out of it.
he did. I was like, that is messed up. And the
It
mother,
was messed up.
yeah, trying to save her, jumps after her.
Baby. It was a beautiful act of courageous sacrifice. They did it slow too. She was like,
I know.
"Oh, baby!" Like, oh my god, I cannot.
Oh man. So AJ, he runs down to the bottom of the tower and he sees the mother is laying there. He thinks she's dead. And Tess, however, she's alive.
Yeah, the mother broke her fall.
Yeah. And he's like trying to explain to her why he threw her off the like get out my
Baby, he
face.
was
He
justifying it. Look,
was.
I didn't mean.
I did.
I had to. I had no choice. Okay.
Like, sir. And as he's doing this, the mother jumps up and grabs him. And I was like, and it was kind of slow too, how she had her thumb was like going towards his eye.
She did it like a squeeze toy. Little
Yeah,
squeezy toys
yeah.
where
And she gouged his eyes out. And then she just like cracked open his head. I was like, what?
Ugh,
What?
it was gross. It looked
It
like
was.
so I finally watched Terrifier. Did we talk about this? Did you see Terrifier?
No,
The
but
one with
I
the
remember
clown?
you telling me about.
Oh, it was like if for those of you that are familiar with that franchise, it was definitely a Terrifier killer, like a kill that you would see in the Terrifier. It was pretty like exaggerated and like gruesome and
You talking about the second one?
in either one. The kills are pretty much the same.
Oh, because I know we talked about the second one where he was it like a chainsaw or something, and he split something. I haven't seen it, but
He did that in the first one. The first one is the one where he hangs that girl by her feet and he saws her from like
oh,
butt
that's
crack
the
up
first
through the
one.
head. Yeah,
Oh,
that's the
okay.
first
I don't
one.
know why I was thinking that was the
That
second one.
movie, that movie confuses me because then sometimes he'll have a gun and I'm like, where the hell you get a gun from? Like that's not. There's nothing creative about you shooting someone with a gun. But anywho, back to the gouging of AJ's eyes.
Yeah, that was crazy. I was like, what?
It was crazy. Fun fact. This is just hearsay, or rumors. It's rumored that this is likely a nod to Jeepers Creepers, the original Jeepers Creepers 2001, where Justin Long's character has his eyes taken by the creeper,
Oh, I
right?
forgot about, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I hope so. Even if it's not,
Yeah.
that's what I'm gonna believe because that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Have you seen the latest one?
Nope, ma'am. I have no. Okay, look, I tried to watch it, and you can imagine. You can guess what happened.
You fell asleep. And so
That girl was out of there.
I was trying to, because this is one of those things. It's like, okay, so do you punish the actors and actresses because of the director's actions? Because I don't know if he directed the latest one,
Oh,
the director, because he's
I
like
don't
a
know.
pedophile. But I love
Oh,
Jeepers Creepers.
I do too. I think when there's a bunch of people who work on a project, then no, you
Yeah,
can't. Like you can't punish them for the
yeah,
actions of like same thing with the Cosby Show. I think that's a great it's just a great work. Like I think it
mm-hmm,
stands the test of time. Like and I don't think all the other actors and actresses should be punished by something that he did. And the
yeah.
content is just great.
Because I was like, I wonder if he directed the last one, because I heard the last one was trash. Even the third one, because I know for a fact, I think he did direct the first three, but the fourth one, I don't know. So after she cracked his head open, she crawls back to Tess and is trying to like comfort her, like that's her baby. Tess grabs the gun and shoots the mother. You could tell she kind of felt bad about it though, because this is still, yeah, she been killing folks, but this is still a regular person who had no control over what she was born into. So I feel like
Yeah,
she kind
agreed.
of felt sorry for her. And Tess then gets up, I don't know how, and walks off. Cause like, yeah, even though the mother did break her fall, I was like, but something still had to have been broken.
Yeah.
Cause
She
that
might have
was,
still had a bunch of adrenaline going through her body
oh,
though.
true, true.
She deserves the final girl title for sure.
Yes, she does. And that's how it ends. She
Be
walks off.
my little
I
baby,
know.
be my. Wait, when it ended, I was like, is that it? And then there's technically 3 after credit stuff, but it's not. It's literally just Tess walking through the whole time.
Yeah, yeah. That was
Be
another
my little.
that was another issue. Cause like again, I said I haven't really seen anything negative, like as far as reviews about this, but a lot of people were, I wouldn't say they didn't like the way it ended, but they were saying it could have ended better. But I mean, she survived.
Yeah, it did feel like it just ended, but
It did,
then
but
it's like, yeah, what else? I don't know. Yeah, with that storyline and with her killing the mother, or maybe they wanted a different. Yeah, like how else would you have ended that?
yeah.
You know what? I think I would have been satisfied if, like, the cops had to come back out and was like, "Oh shit!" Like realized, oh, this was real. Like realized she wasn't playing games. I think I would have been. That would have been cool to see.
Yeah. And then they go to the house and then it's another kid, another mother, so to speak.
You're saying that you would have liked that in an ending?
Yeah. Cause then that would leave it
Yeah,
open to like another movie, or I mean they could do a prequel.
yeah, maybe they could.
Yeah, I feel like they should have went more into that story since it's the base of the movie. Feel like they
I
should have
agree.
spent more time on it, but
I guess final thoughts, movie ratings, the movie ratings, final thoughts. Ugh.
final thoughts for me. So, I mean, of course, I liked it. I feel like I said before, it's one of those movies that's better in theater. Like if you go to see it in the theater. And then I read somewhere, I don't know if this is true, but I read that it was supposed to be kind of a comedy almost. Cause I was
Oh,
like, there were some parts where I was cracking up and I was like, okay, now I don't feel bad for laughing. Cause if that's what they were going for, then I'm
I don't ever
good.
feel bad for. I don't ever feel bad, but I get it.
But um my main critique, like I said, is they should have spent time on the backstory. But other than that, I mean I liked it.
Well, yeah, and then how long? How long is it?
I don't know.
Because we talking about spend time on the backstory. Hold on. Let me see.
Because it could have been the way they did it, like how they just went. It felt like not two different movies, but like we were when it cut to AJ in the car, we were like, what is this? Is this what's going on?
No, yeah. That's what
So
that's what happened to us. And I
yeah,
was like, wait, is this the same?
yeah.
Or no, I had made it through AJ. It was when they went back to the 1980s and I was like, wait, what's
Oh,
happening?
yeah,
Because I split it in two. But no, I
yeah.
agree. And it's an hour and 43 minutes. So they could have, you might as well have just made it 2 hours, take the
Two
little extra
hours,
15
yeah.
minutes, and yeah, give us
Yeah.
a little bit of a backstory if you're not going to do a prequel.
Yeah.
I agree. What don't have any final thoughts? I kind of expressed myself the whole way through. I
Yeah, I feel like we both did.
give it a rating. You go first. I'm still mine's probably gonna be a popular, like how I felt about the not a popular rating, but you know what I mean? Like as a not as like a critic, but more of like
Oh.
a how it made me feel. I don't know. Let me think. You can give yours first
So
though.
my rating, oh, because you're gonna do the other reviews last. Okay.
After, yeah.
Yeah. So I would give it hmm. Even though I really do like the movie, I wouldn't give it like a 4. So I would be maybe a 3.5-ish. It would have been a 4 for me, like I said, if they would have went into the backstory.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I get why people don't like the way it ended, but how, like we said, how else would you have ended it? But
Yeah.
as far as like my experience, the theater experience, just the situation, and because it was so unexpected, that's why
Yeah,
my
yeah,
my
that's
rating
true.
is higher because I did not see any of that. I did not
That's
picture any of
true.
that. So I will say they did a good job on that. So 3.5.
I'm gonna have I was gonna give it a 2.5, but Imma be
Dang.
I know, I thought about it though. I rethought it, and I am going to give it a 3 even. I'm gonna give it a 3
Okay.
even. I For me, I wish I had seen it in theaters. That would have been great if I could have got the chance to see it in theaters. I also just felt like for me, I was just like, what it like the antagonist, the threat. I got it. I did get it, but I didn't come here for this. Like this is not what I came here for. It was unexpected, which was like it was good, it was refreshing, but at the same
Yeah.
time, I was like, I didn't sign up for like this is not what I signed up for. If I'm gonna come in and it's gonna be a wrong turn situation, one of these
But
heels
I
have eyes
think
situations, I just want to know going in there. That's just me
that's the
personally.
point
It's just
though.
me.
That and then
No,
for
I
me, that's
know.
why I rated it so high because I felt like they accomplished what they were going for.
That's true. And I'm gonna give them a solid 3. I feel like people would look at the 3 and be like, "Oh, okay, I can still watch it." It's not like
Yeah.
a terrible review. Like I could probably it's an easy watch. I could probably watch it like every year. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's not excruciating for me to watch. I just am going by how I felt, like, especially the first time when I watched it and we were like, "Is it over? What the heck happened?" That was like, eh. And then I watched it again and was like, "Okay, no, it is a pretty good movie." There was just like something missing for me, and maybe it is that backstory that's missing
That's
for me.
yeah,
Because
that's what
maybe
it
if they
was for
had that,
me.
yeah, maybe if they had that more, then I'd be like, okay, then I can justify this part of what this is. But for me, I was just like, I'm here. I am here. I just don't know how often I will come here. I'll come here, once every couple of years, but I don't know that I'll come here every day type of thing.
I
It
get
didn't
that.
blow me away. It didn't blow my socks off type of thing.
I get that. And then to me, I feel like the movie itself was refreshing because we have been getting a lot of trash movies. So
That's true. Or
from
or
that
or they
point,
tried or they tried too hard. This didn't really try too
yeah.
hard.
Yeah.
It's just and then Andre, I love him, but his acting kind of killed it. Like his character kind of for me, I was just like, yeah, I don't know, man. but solid 3. IMDb gives it a 7.1 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 92%. It is a wrapped tomato. A wrapped tomato.
And again, Rotten Tomatoes is just regular people.
It's a popular,
so yeah, popular opinion.
Popular vote.
Yeah.
And then, I have Fandango. Fandango gave it 70%. And then the audience rating summary on Google gave it a 3.5 out of 5. So you gave it a 3.5 on the Strange meter. So you were right on the money with Google. And then I gave it a 3.0 on the Strange meter. So not bad. Definitely something to watch for sure.
Yeah, I liked it. Solid.
And I wish I would have watched it like with y'all too. I think my experience in being in theaters with y'all, I probably would have had a not say that my experience wasn't good, but you know what I mean? It was just different because I was at home. I was tired.
Yeah. And then you had to watch it twice.
Yeah, then I had to watch it technically 3 times.
Oh.
I watched half, then I watched it again.
Yeah.
Well, that is all, folks. That is all for the Barbarian. Barbarian. You remember that show? Dave the Barbarian.
Dave the Barbarian, yeah.
Barbarian.
Yeah, on Disney.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is it for the Barbarian review.
Please follow us on Instagram at It's a Strange World Podcast, Twitter at Pod Strange World, and on Facebook and TikTok at It's a Strange World After All. If you love the show, give us a 5-star rating on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And if you want to, you can leave us a review. Go ahead on Apple.
Yes. No pressure. Only if you want to. If you have any more movies or documentaries of the horror, thriller, slasher, and true crime genre and want to hear our uncensored, unsolicited opinions on them, email those submissions to It's a Strange World After All at gmail.com or DM us at any other social media platforms D mentioned. We love watching movies. We love doing these. So give us some suggestions.
Thank you for tuning into another episode of It's a Strange World After All.
And thank you as always for keeping it strange with us.
Thank you.